No, I'm here. What up, y'all? Had my sister Brandy. Since I start going live on YouTube, I usually do it on Instagram. Used to do it on Facebook until they started deleting all the videos after 30 days. But I do know I have a unique audience here on YouTube. So today I'm just coming to share a similar video I just made on Instagram in response to a couple things that are happening. First and foremost, this Jasmine Crockett situation I'm seeing once again. A lot of sisters are attempting to blame black men for Jasmine Crockett's loss. I will get into that first, but also our brother Kalego, the Black Vanguard soldier. Hey, what up? I see already I got somebody tuning in here on YouTube. How you doing? But second, our brother Kalego, the Black Vanguard soldier, put up a video Monday of a Latino couple who has come and set up and taken over a spot that one of our elder brothers has held for a few years now, selling food. I will get to that last, and I'm gonna do this real quick because I do got something I have to do. But first, the whole Jasmine Crockett situation and black women once again blaming black men is a continuation of this insanity that's going on. And insanity will always result in the same thing happening if what results in it is not corrected. And what I mean by that is the first thing I saw in relation to Jasmine Crockett losing is that her white Democratic base, which she has been loyal to, she has been championing their agenda, pulled out on her and they backed her opponent. And one of the articles, a couple articles I read today, one of them being in the USA Today, and there were a couple others. I believe I put who did the Texas Democrats support into the search engine, and it produced this article by USA Today and a couple other articles that basically was saying the white Democratic base not only pulled their support from Jasmine Crockett and put it behind, I think the dude name is Tallarico or something, but they were actually setting Tallarico up so he could lose to his Republican opponent come the general election. And that just goes into how other people, regardless of which side of the so-called party, which wing of the party, and all these other identifications, they put the white agenda first and foremost, which is part of the insanity of black people who constantly want to be loyal to either side of white supremacy. But the article, again, was suggesting that not only did white Democrats pull out their support for Jasmine Crockett, they set up Tallarico to be the Democratic opponent in the general election, knowing he would very likely get less support than her and the Republican will win. Look the shit up, y'all. Not something I'm making up, but that's how they play politics while we are foolishly, getting behind everybody else. The second thing I saw, I think yesterday, folks were pointing out is that once again, the Latinos did not show up for her. So very similar to Kamala Harris, white folks didn't support her. Latinos who they are pandering and prioritizing did not show up for her. And then, of course, lastly, people were raising up that 18%, almost 20% of the black registered voters who voted did not vote for her. So that is where a lot of the videos and comments I'm seeing coming from some black women is attempted to blame black men. However, first and foremost, it's just not black men. It's also intelligent, courageous black women who see this insanity of supporting black sellouts is not only getting us nothing, but it's allowing our communities to be erased. It's allowing other folks to come and take over our communities. And other numbers that they quite often don't go into, they're saying of the black registered voters who voted, 18% did not support Jasmine Crockett, but there's an even larger percentage of registered black voters who don't even show up because they aren't supporting either side of it. And a number even bigger than that is the number of black folks who aren't even registering to vote because they see no reason to, because they don't see anybody fighting for them or fighting for us. So these are things that I found out a few months ago, going back to 2020. Black people have really been raising up. In 2020, I was more on the front lines and a lot of the protesting and organizing that was happening. So I wasn't as tuned into the political debates, because at that time it was Joe Biden against Trump. And like I've said, that's basically like Lucifer against Satan. But I saw there was a person, Joy Reid, who was on MSNBC at the time, basically suggesting to black folks to not listen to black people who were talking about we need reparations or tangibles from whoever we're supposed to get behind. And she was basically suggesting that black people who were saying this were Russian bots. And like all the rest of these fools, she ended up getting disposed of by MSNBC, just like the Democratic Party has disposed of Kamala Harris. They now have disposed of Jasmine Crockett. It's part of the insanity that these black sellouts do not get. Sooner or later, after they're done using you to hold your own people back, they will dispose of your ass. So that is some things folks got to look at, especially going into the general election, just moving forward, period. One, the consciousness of black people is here to see that we can no longer support those who are not coming for us. And I will even say, in addition to the check, coming with actually pushing protections for us. This morning, I did hear a commercial where I didn't see who it was that was talking, but they were basically saying in 2026, all the experience that all the hateful experiences black people are still receiving in America, but they generalized it and said we have to fight hate as opposed to fighting racism, fighting anti-blackness. But again, they generalize it to try to, I guess, include other folks. And that is part of what we expected too, that some of them will gradually start to incorporate some of what we're saying. But again, trying to play it safe, still trying to pander to other people as opposed to rallying that percentage of registered black voters who don't vote. And even more so, inspiring the many black folks who don't normally register to vote to register to vote. And I've seen for a couple of elections now that population there could have helped Kamala get over the opposition, could have helped Jasmine Crockett get over the opposition, but insanely they refused to do it. So these are outcomes. The second thing I was saying is our brother Kalego, the Black Vanguard soldier, put up a video Monday showing how a young Latino couple has come on Crenshaw and Stocker and basically taken over a spot one of our elder brothers had been selling food now for years. And another brother told me Monday he had approached them. They basically told him to fuck off. I went yesterday and tried to talk to him, with some diplomacy. Didn't get crazy because they had a little girl out there with them. I approached the man first. He couldn't speak English, so he directed me to either his woman, his sister, whoever, whatever their relation is. And I spoke to her, and her response was basically like, so what? And then she wanted to get sarcastic and act like, well, what days does he come out? And so another brother, he spoke to a couple of black folks who walked up and going to patronize him. And one of the brothers that he spoke to did leave. I heard that another person saw that a sister did patronize him, I think yesterday. But yeah, again, excuse me. I spoke to them the day before yesterday. Today is Thursday, so I actually went Tuesday. And then yesterday is when another person saw the sisters patronizing. But what we're basically asking folks who are in Los Angeles to come out at 2:00 on Crenshaw and Stocker, because we want to nip this in the bud and basically show them as a community that, we're not going to accept folks just thinking they could come take over, the little bit we do got. We can't go in other areas in this community, one, without them carrying out acts of violence against us and being way more hostile and aggressive against us, or our brothers and sisters who attempt to vend in those areas. And that is why we have built up this area we're claiming as our Africa town for black economics, for black social gatherings, for our culture to continue to exist and thrive in this city. So Again, if you are in LA today at 2 o'clock. Oh wow, the Pan African Report was good. I gotta get used to reading comments on here. It was suggested to me to start doing lives on here, but I see our sister. Excuse me, I could barely read. The writing is so tiny. Kathy B606 said Grand Rising, gave me the hundreds. Pan African Report gave me the fist. DJ Black is saying greetings. The Pan African Report is saying we know why. Pan African Report is saying like the video so our great brother Billion Godson video can be shared by the algorithm. I appreciate that. Again, I'm new on this whole YouTube situation. I've done a couple, but yeah, I most definitely appreciate that. Suggesting to folks to like, share, and I think folks even be saying, as y'all doing now, comment and playback also. Where did you post him on? What platform? So he posted the video, I believe, on Instagram and Twitter, or excuse me, or X. But the screenshots that's why I brought it up. I got screenshots of black folks attacking him for putting that video up. You know, again, on that can we all just get along situation. By now, we have to acknowledge that if we're going to have shit left in LA or anywhere, we have to be the same way these other folks are. They aren't not welcoming us. You know, folks always want to bring up the past and say how Fred Hampton said this or that person said that, or how at different points in times we coexisted and got along. But what we know is a lot of these folks who are arriving today are coming with the mentality of being Spaniards, identifying as white, identifying that, thinking that we're less than. So that's what we have to deal with and stop trying to, you know, embrace folks who hate us. I've always shared growing up in LA, from elementary to middle school to high school, I got along with Mexicans. I was cool with them, even the Mexican gangs, the Inglewood 13. But once I got to UCLA, it's where I saw how much other people hate us, Latinos, Asians, and others. And from that point on, I've observed it, but especially over about the last 15 years, I've seen an escalation, and not just how much they hate us, but as they have been brought more into our communities and their numbers have gotten bigger, they've gotten bolder with carrying out acts of hate, as city, county, and state data has shown. You know, year after year, we are the most hated group, but also the Latinos are the number one group who carry out these acts of terrorism and hate against us. So that's what we have to know as we deal with these other folks. But he posted it on Instagram, X, and the screenshots I got were from Thread. I'm not on Thread. Kathy B says the disrespect, shaking my damn head. DJ Black is saying Jasmine Crockett is to blame for her loss and the story. Exactly. That's what I titled this video. Jasmine Crockett is the reason Jasmine Crockett lost. Again, turning her back on her true base of people and trying to identify as a Democrat, which is controlled by white racists. Some for too long have been saying they're the lesser evil, but many of us know they're equal evil, not even greater, because they're the ones wiping out our communities right now. When and where, brother, again, today at 2 o'clock on Crenshaw and Stocker. If you're here in LA, come join us. Black Power Hour every hour. And the Pan-African Report, last comment I'll read, exactly 100. You know, with them, that's been one of my main priorities, protecting my people from, most definitely. So y'all, this is the first of what may possibly be more YouTube lives, even though I'm not, you know, into all of this, but especially with what we're doing right now. I don't know if all of you know, I am campaigning to get Isaac Bryan out of the 55th Assembly District seat. He is one of the clowns who blocked our reparations. He is also one of the clowns who prioritizes everybody else. So for several months now, we've been campaigning against him. I will officially be on the ballot. But yeah, so if y'all are in LA and y'all can support us with that, we need boots, high heels, Crocs, whatever you walking in on the ground to help us push that. So with that, I'm gonna hop off. And again, I thank y'all for taking the time to come on here and comment. And if you can, like the brother said, share. Appreciate y'all.